Alright guys, welcome back to the build of our little teardrop trailer, and today we're going to install some doors. By the time we're done, it'll be an open close case. So what we're going to do is install our cabinet doors here on the face of our rear cabinet for the interior, and for those we already had the doors cut. Everything is now varnished, and I've got the hinges installed on our door. Now we just have to find out where we're going to put these. If you remember our dimensions here in our door is cut 1/2 inch wider and taller than our opening space, which means it gives us about 1/4 of an inch on each side, bottom and top. And to get a straight line across there, let's see, what am I going to do? Nope, forgot my tape. Let me grab my tape. Got it. So what I think I'm going to do to start out with is we're going to put a piece of tape here along the edge. On both sides of this middle door or opening, and across the bottom. That'll give us something to draw our lines on. So like I said, our cabinet doors are 1/2 inch wider, so 1/4 inch on each side. So I'm going to measure over 1/4 inch, top and bottom. Connect our lines here if I can see them. Boom. Alright. Now the bottom, we'll also measure down 1/4. And strike a line across the bottom. Now let's see, we'll do it right here. Let's make sure we got 1/4 inch all the way across. And I'll show you why in just a second. Okay, let's get these lined up here. Keep from doing that. Right there and right there. Alright. So we're going to start on the center cabinet first. Make sure we get that positioned, and then we can line the other two up straight line with this one. I like symmetry, so if we've got a nice straight line, it's going to look good instead of doors up here and one's crooked and one's spread apart. Or, you know, I've seen people hanging cabinet doors like that and they just look kind of tacky to me. So we're going to start here on our center. I've got a stick here. We're going to line it up on our marks right here. And we'll just use a couple of clamps. Like so. Both sides. Okay, and and that'll give us a platform to rest our cabinet door on. We line it up with our 1/4" marks here on each side, and then we can punch holes here and get that fastened, and it keeps the bottom straight. Then we'll take the clamps, put them here in the center, put another other door over here, rest it on our stick, and that will keep everything nice and straight here on the bottom. So let's go ahead and drill some holes here, get this one set in place, and then we'll get the other two going. Alright, so once again, put our tape on here, measure down a 1/4 inch over from our opening here on the sides, and here on the bottom, put a straight edge, and that's where our cabinet doors will rest on. I've taken a couple little clamps, clamped this in place to spring the hinges open a little bit, because when you put it in there, they're a little bit tilted, so if you fasten them, it's going to push everything down. So I want to make sure that it's nice and flat, and we're on our lines here. So now we're ready to pre-drill. Go ahead and set our screws for this cabinet door, and then we can go ahead and concentrate on the outside too, and we can, well, we'll be done with those doors. So let's get those installed. So I'm using a small, tiny little drill bit, and we're just going to tap a few little holes here to help us line things up. And then we'll take our Phillips, go ahead and install our screws. Okay. There we go. So that's our center door. Now we can line the other two up with our center door. So we'll open this one up, and we'll put our clamps here, and then we'll put the other two doors on. And that's the way we're going to do it. So I put the clamps here, get this one clamped in place, close this door to make sure that our lines look nice and straight so nothing's tilted, and I think it looks pretty good. Went in and clamped these down so it springs back our hinges. We'll go ahead and get those fastened on. Then we have one more door, and that'll be it for that. It doesn't take long. I'm guessing about 15 minutes is really all we have to do. And what I'll do on this side is also measure over 1/4 inch, strike a line so I've got a nice parallel line before we clamp this side up. So let's get this side fastened on, and then we'll do this door, and then we step back, take a look at it, admire our handiwork, take the tape off, and see what it looks like. Then we take these clamps off. I think it's looking pretty good. Alright, so now we'll pop this one open, and that one as well. Get a couple clamps up here, hold things in place. measure over 1/4 of an inch. Top and bottom. Take our straight edge. Looks good. And then we'll take our third door, set it up here. Grab our little clamps here. See what this looks like. And that looks good. Beautiful. Alright. So we'll set that down. Let's drill some holes here and get this thing in there. Okay, now everything's screw fastened in place. Let's remove all of our clamps and our stick. Let's go ahead and get our tape off of here. Now hopefully when we close the doors they all are all in a line here. I think it looks good. Couple of quick measurements just to make sure. 1 3/16. Ooh, 1 3/16. Yeah. Alright. That looks pretty good. Now I tried to keep the grain of the cabinets all the same the way I cut the wood, so it sort of all blends together. I don't know if that's important, but yeah, I'm happy with that. I still have to make some handles. I'll make some pull handles just like I did for the back, and we'll install those on here. I'll use the mahogany, sand those down, get them varnished up and make them look nice, and fasten them on, and then we'll be able to pull those up, and that'll work great. So next is I'm going to install the little bumpers that came with the hinges. And just right here on the corners, like that. I think those will work all right. So now, let's step back and take a look at our work and see how well we did. Alright, that is one step closer to being finished. So, I think the cabinet doors look nice. All three of them are in place. We've got a nice straight line, even gaps in the center and sides. So I'm happy with that, and I think it looks good. Overall, the trailer project is looking really good. I spent about 3 days here the past week and doing a little varnish work, which I'm not a finish guy, only because it just seems like it takes forever and it's slow work. But I gotta say, when it's done and you sand everything out and give it several coats, that I really do like the looks of it once it's all cured out. So it turned out really nice. Everything's got a nice little sheen to it, just the way I like it. Alright, so we'll talk about a couple of things that we've got to do next to start getting ready to put the top on.